I used to think Quistis was the worst character in Final Fantasy VIII. Then my moderator Frenchie in my Twitch chat bullied me so relentlessly that I changed my mind. Now, as a born-again Treppy, I decided to see if it was possible to beat the entire game using just Quistis. Ready? Let's go. Let's not beat around the bush. The Junction system is so incredibly broken that I literally only hit 2 real roadblocks on this run, and both of those were RNG based rather than genuine skill challenges. The rules are simple. If Quistis is available, she must be in the party and do all the heavy lifting. The other characters cannot act other than to simply knock themselves out. As an extra bonus, I also decided that I had to upgrade Quistis to her ultimate weapon, save the Queen, before the end of the game. Since there are quite a few moments where we don't have Quistis, I made sure that Squall was a good student and legally changed his name to Quistis2 to act as her understudy. Quistis drags her student through the Ifrit trial and we collect some important fish fins from the beach to refine into water magic using Shiva. We immediately junction this to strength using Ifrit, making us more than powerful enough to walk through most of the early game enemies. Sadly, Quistis takes a back seat during the Dollop mission, so we let Quistis2 do the grunt work. Having graduated, qualified, achieved the rank of Seed, Quistis2 continues to fawn over Quistis by following her to a popular and entirely inconvenient makeout spot in the heart of a monster-infested training area. Nothing quite inspires romance as much as the imminent threat of dinosaur-related death, I guess. Quistis saves alone, then decides to take a break once again while her understudy heads off to Timber. Knowing that they are ultimately doomed to fail without her, she turns up to guide them all to Galbadia Garden, where Quistis2 shows his undying loyalty to his favourite teacher.
So interestingly, normally I'd have an issue with this, but like, all I care about is having Quistis in the party, so I'm like, yep, whatever, that's fine, you do you, brother. Have a good time. I've never seen this scene before. Irvi Kinney Poo, I'll make you happy. Wow. Is this just because Squall was like, I don't really care? That's weird. We grab the Brothers GF, which, while not challenging, does turn to a bit of a grind, before heading back to Delling City where Quistis, and I say this only in the interest of fairness, completely fucks up by abandoning her post. She does make up for it though, effortlessly guiding her team through the sewers and arriving in the nick of time. Quistis2 takes care of Cypher and the Sorceress like a good Treppy before dying, maybe dying. Gains an unclear death-related status. And the team wakes up in prison because Final Fantasy. We briefly let Zell have a taste of Quistis' limitless power in order to free everybody. Quistis takes out Biggs and Wedge after draining all of their magical essence like a whip-wielding succubus, and since we finally have Quistis back in the party, we decide to check out the magical lamp our maniac headmaster gave us. The fight against Diablos gets a bit tight at points, but Regen keeps our health topped up enough that we soon overpower him. Up and down the stairs a few times for a spot of cardio, and we take on this annoying group. It takes a bit of time to whittle them down, mostly due to my own indecisiveness and the fact Quistis ends up with Meltdown on her, but we eventually emerge triumphant. We decide to send Quistis on the missile-based team, and we quickly learn the importance of protecting against confusion. I don't care that much, I'm just going to kill you if that's alright. Don't do it again. I hate you. What did you just use? Did you use an elixir? God damn, I hate you. After taking out the tank and its inhabitants, we watch the entire base blow up, but since we know Quistis is immortal, we're not overly concerned. Meanwhile, Quistis2 bumbles his way around Balam Garden. Balam? Which is clearly having some sort of meltdown, heads down into the basement and sets the entire building airborne. Listen, I know the school's flying, I know we just avoided some missiles blowing into us, I know we've just had a civil war, but how would you feel about a game of cards right now? A nice, relaxing, calming game of cards. Cool, can confirm, school flying, we're done here. We blunder our way through the Norg fight, one day I swear I'll bother to learn the mechanics, before crashing into Fisherman's Horizon, where we are finally reunited with Quistis and pick up some invaluable Ultima spells from the hidden draw point. They will turn out to be essential later. Quistis performs her supersonic tap dancing technique. Look at her go! And we head back to Balam where we bump into best friend duo Raijin and Fujin. Much to my surprise, Quistis is slain after I forget about Fujin's Psi ability that drops her to 1 HP. We reload and the second attempt goes far more smoothly. Off to Trabia for the inexplicable plot twist before the garden versus garden fight. We nearly get into trouble against these green-suited bastards who hit Quistis with a range of status effects and repeated blasts of Demi, but a few last-second limit breaks get us out of trouble. We invade Galbadia Garden and Quistis decides she wants a pet dog. The dog fights back. Up the bump. That is a bad pupper. Tail goes down, thank you. Oh, that's... yeah, that's an issue. That's something that I had not considered. Well, this fight's playing out one way or the other at this point. I can't do anything else about it. Whoa! Quistis totally just like autopiloted that. That's amazing.
Quistis easily defeats Cypher and then heads downstairs to finish the job against both Cypher and Adia. This is where we hit our first wall. Cypher remains a pushover, but Adia has access to the spell Death. This is a one-shot kill, and kill Quistis it does.
Ding dang, that's what I was worried about. Yeah, we're going to have to work out a way of stopping that.
We junction life and full life to status defense, but this only increases our odds of surviving each death spell to 25%. We try again, but once again luck is not on our side. We card mod a Tombury card into 30 death spells, which combined with life boosts our status defense but only up to 50%. This means we have a 50-50 chance of dying every time Adia casts death. We try a few more times but keep losing the coin toss. Eventually we decide that our best approach is to kill Adia as quickly as possible to reduce how many times she can cast death in the first place. We focus our setup on boosting Quistis' magical power and hurl a barrage of Ultimecia at her until she finally submits, bringing to an end the first real obstacle of the run.
Guess not. Yeah! Woo! The ultimate strategy!
Quistis 2 drags Renoa to Esther.
Wait here for a second, Renoa. I need to emo.
Quistis kills the undead boss with an elixir and I reacquaint myself with my favourite city to navigate on foot.
Okay, it begins again. Where do I want to go? The city layout is definitely a problem. It's a huge problem. How does anybody navigate it? How does anybody get around this place? It is literally the worst.
Quistis 2 goes to space where some shenanigans happen, but since Quistis herself isn't there, we don't really care. Once the party is reunited back on the planet, we decide to focus our energies on making Quistis' ultimate weapon, Save the Queen. Having rarely bothered with this before, the adventure to creating it is full of surprises.
Hey! Wow! That works really well.
Ultimate weapon in hand and having stocked up on some powerful spells from the islands closest to heaven and hell, Quistis makes absolute fools of Ragin and Fujin, takes out this robot chap without even breaking a sweat, decimates poor old Cypher, and even goes to the trouble of saving Renoa from Adele. After swatting some sorceress-shaped flies, we find ourselves in Ultimecia's castle. Sphinx dies to the broken power of Quistis, and then we have an interesting encounter with Tripoint.
Ah. Well, that's a problem. We seem to be healing him. It must be something that I've got on my doodad. That's fine. Let's work out what it was that was healing him. What have you got equipped to your attack at the moment? Thundara. Yeah, we don't want that. Can we auto to attack? What will that change it to? Holy. Surely you won't like Holy. Let's try that again. We're back now. Sorry. Had to have a little reminder of what we need to do. There we go. What? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Tiamat's biggest move only makes Quistis more powerful, and having learned from my past mistakes, I quickly solve the library puzzle and take out Trauma, drawing Meltdown from him in the process. At this point, we have all the abilities I need to take on the final boss rush. This, again, is where RNG comes into play. If the fight starts without Quistis in the party, there's a good chance I'll wipe before she turns up. During the first attempt, I also forget that I have Holy Link to Elemental Attack, which negates my ability to damage physically. Our old friend Death even turns up again too. But after a few attempts, making minor tactical tweaks each time and crossing our fingers that the RNG gods smile on us, we emerge triumphant. So, can you beat Final Fantasy VIII with just Quistis? Yep. The Junction system is so completely broken that you could literally choose any of the 6 main characters and pretty much stroll your way to victory. But I still love this game, and I hope you'll feel inspired to go and give this a go yourself. Thanks for watching, and ta-ra!